of working really hard and things just aren't working? Well, it's probably one thing. So it's Leah Ray, excited to be with you tonight. It's our Monday night training, 5:30 Eastern every week. So set your alarms or phones or calendars or whatever you got to do. But I wanted to address a really important topic because I think this will help a ton of people. I run into folks every single day and they're doing a ton of work. They're taking tons of action. They're doing all these different strategies, but it's still not coming together. So if this is you, if you're doing the thing, if you're consistently taking action, you're following a specific strategy. Okay, looks like Facebook is having some issues. Okay. All right. So we're going with, all right, StreamYard's having some issues. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. But so here's the deal. If you're doing the thing, so you're doing whatever the strategy is, that could be podcast guesting, networking, different social media content, vertical video, like whatever your thing is, and it's not working, you're not actually making sales from what you're doing. We need to really, really evaluate something super duper important. So what we need to look at is well, for one, you got to be real because, hey, Tiffany, good to see you. Christy, Jennifer, Danny, Dr. Danny, welcome, Jim. Okay, yes, say hi as you guys jump on. I'm juggling a couple devices because some systems are not quite working as they should, but I'm going to pull this up and this should all work seamlessly. All right. Okay. So, with this, we need to first be honest. And are you consistently doing an activity? Are you consistently doing the strategy enough? Because if you're not doing it enough or you're not doing it consistently, the strategy is not going to work. But if you are consistently, like you followed the training, you're doing the thing, it's supposed to be working, it's working for other people, and it's just not working for you, that's what this discussion is about. So if you've fallen into this trap at one point or another, or fallen into this difficult place at one point or another, comment, let me know, say hi, because I think this is really, really frustrating. And I want to save you from this situation because it can be really disheartening to do all of that work and to not actually make sales. So I'm here for you. Let's fix this. Okay. Let's look. First thing we need to look at is your messaging. Your messaging, because if you're consistently doing the same strategy as Sally, and Sally's crushing it, and you're doing the same exact strategy, but it's flopping, it ain't working for you, you're not making sales, then we need to look at your messaging and really evaluate if your messaging is actually resonating with people and how to fix it. Like how to actually make this work so you can consistently be bringing in sales. So I hope you have a pen and paper because you're going to need it. So put in a little pen emoji if you have one. Let me know you're ready to go. But what I want, first off, okay, you have to ask yourself, do they value the result that you help people achieve? Your target audience, right? Whoever you're speaking to, whoever you're reaching with the strategy that you're putting out there, do they actually value the result that you're helping people to achieve? And if you don't know what the result is that you help people achieve, messaging is definitely a really big problem, and the offer itself. Okay. So you do need to have a very specific result that you help people achieve. But you do need to do some market research, because if you are flailing out there, you're doing all of this stuff and you're just not getting any sales, or people aren't taking the next step with you, we need to do some market research to see if people actually value that result enough to get people to take the next step, to move to that next step in the process. So I don't know why this is doing all this goofy stuff. We don't need. Okay. Hopefully this will come back. We lost it for a moment. I should not be offline. I should have Wi-Fi. Easy, good Wi-Fi. All right. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if you're dealing with all this. Okay, I think we got it back. Woo! All right, I appreciate your patience. Okay, so what is that result that you help people achieve? Okay, your program, your coaching program, your coaching, your courses, there needs to be a result that you help people achieve. Okay, so what is that result? And we need to do some market research and to see, do people find this valuable enough to actually purchase? This could be a really tough thing to look at, but I'm gonna give you some tough love tonight because I care about you, and I do feel confident that if you've got a good skill set, we can tweak and adjust and pivot in a way that will work. So even if your current offer doesn't work, that doesn't mean it's the end of the game. We can adjust, we can pivot and make this work. So you do need to do some market research. You need to see who is out there in the marketplace selling that same result. And if you say nobody, that's not a good thing. Like in this day and age, if no one is out there selling that same result, probably means no one's buying it. So don't look at it like, oh, I'm going to be the first one. At this state in the info product game, probably shouldn't have first anymore. Like there should be someone out there who's making money, doing something, offering a result if there is an opportunity there. Okay. So you need to evaluate who's out there selling that same result with their coaching or their course. And are people actually buying? Now, you're not going to see their back end and you're not going to see how many sales they're making. Maybe you can see their posts if they're bragging on their success. Maybe that means something. But maybe you can check how many reviews they have on their Google thing, or, if they have their courses listed on a platform, like how many reviews do they have? Okay. Look for clues that people are actually purchasing. Look for clues of people actually commenting and like engaging, like they're a client on their social media, all that kind of stuff. Are people actually purchasing? That's really important. And then what are the prices? Because maybe you're charging $2,500 and the only competition that you can find out there is actually just charging $25. That's a big something to pay attention to, because maybe your target audience only sees it worth the value of the result is $25 to them. Now, if you find someone who's doing only low ticket, that doesn't mean that everyone is. So you got to dig around a little bit and see what people are doing. But you do need to do this kind of research, especially if you've been working hard and consistently working different strategies and they're not working. We need to make sure that this offer is actually valuable enough and people are willing to purchase it. Okay. Now, what this additional piece to the messaging. So if you see that, yes, people are purchasing, people are other people are selling that type of result, that people are paying a decent amount of money or equivalent amount to what you're trying to sell for. Good. That's a really good sign. But now we need to work on the messaging, not the offer necessarily, but the messaging around the offer. Okay. So how do we do this? We need to get really, really specific on the pains, the challenges, and the frustrations that you are helping people to overcome. So for us, for Digital Trailblazer, we help people who are stuck in the Frankenstein business, where they got a little bit of this going over here, a little bit of that going over there. Nothing's connected. Everything's hodgepodge and willy-nilly and not working. That is a big frustration for people in our space. We help people who are sick and tired of being stuck on Messenger, DMing strangers and trying to pitch them their thing. That's a really big pain. We help people. People are frustrated. They feel the pain of doing all of these strategies and doing all of these things online without making money, without it actually leading to revenue, to clients. Those are very painful, frustrating things. If you don't know what are the pains and frustrations that you help people to solve or avoid, that's a really big problem, because your content needs to speak to that. Your copy and your content all online needs to speak to those pains and frustrations and helping people to avoid and overcome those pains and frustrations. So if you aren't, that's part of the problem. So if you help, moms get back into pre-baby weight, right? Their pains and frustrations, they're struggling with fitting into their clothes. They're struggling with time to even spend on themselves, right? Time, if they've got little ones, like time to actually go to the gym or time to work out or time to meal prep or plan. They're struggling with energy levels because kids are demanding and draining. Let's be real. So you need to understand these challenges and how your solution helps them overcome these challenges, overcome these pains, and helps them get the result. Okay. Another really important part of your messaging that you need to have dialed in is what you need to understand. What have they tried before? So in that scenario of helping post-baby mamas get back into pre-baby weight, what have they been trying? Maybe they've been trying calorie counting. Maybe they've been trying these prefab meal things that come delivery, meal delivery stuff. Maybe they've been trying just fasting altogether and they've been failing. What are the things that they're trying and how are you different from those other solutions that aren't working for them right now? If your solution isn't different, this doesn't make sense. And like I go through this with folks whenever I do a strategy with someone and they're a strategy session and we're really looking at like diving deep with them. What's going on in your business? What are you trying to achieve? I'm always asking them, what have they tried to fix it? Because I need to understand, not like I should do it for sales purposes, but in reality, I'm doing it because I need to understand what they've been doing and make sure that what we do and how we can help them is actually different enough from what they've currently or have been doing in the past that I'm confident that we can actually get them true results. Because I never want to sell someone something if I don't believe that they can get actual results with our help. Like, never. Because I'm ethical. Like, I want people to succeed. If we're going to pour into our clients, we want them to crush what they're doing. And if they're doing something and it's exactly what we teach, or I don't have confidence that it's different, then I'm not going to sell to them this thing that we do or this method or this solution if they're already doing it and not having success, right? So you should really understand not just the result, not just the pains, the challenges, the frustrations, but what have they been doing on their own or without you, right? What have they been trying to fix this or do so far? Because you need to speak to that in your copy, in your VSL, video sales letter, in your social media content. It's important. I'm going through several more things here, guys, but I forgot to mention it because I was having all kinds of fun little flubbity flues at the beginning here. But we do have a freebie for y'all. So we do have our 7-day, 7 steps to high ticket coaching clients. It's our 7-day Trello board. So if you want help with how to get more high ticket clients, want to understand the system and the process to do so, just type in the chat in the comments, put in the number 7. I don't know why I've never done that one before, but just put in a number 7 and the team will follow up today or tomorrow and we'll get that over to you. So grab access to that. And if you're listening to this stuff and you're like, this really sounds good, but I'm stuck. Like I've been trying this, or I understand my messaging is not very good, but I'm really struggling to figure this out on my own. No problem. This is what Digital Trailblazer does. This is how we help people. So just comment info in the chat and we'll chat. We'll set up a time to meet. We'll talk. We'll see what's going on and then point you in the right direction. It's not a sales call. I don't even have anything you can sell on that or buy on that call. We're just going to get you the right information that you need to help you take you to the next level. Okay. So get through all that info in the chat or the number 7 as well. And if you're on YouTube, there's links because YouTube, I'm not going to see your comments when it's all said and done. So YouTube's a little bit different than all the other platforms. Okay. Now we're going to the next piece that I want you to understand or really dial in your messaging is back to that result that you help people achieve. And I want you to think about that result. And I want you to take it a step further and understand, why do they want that result? So like for us, if we're going to help people get clients, why do people want to get clients? Well, there's many reasons, right? And there's going to be several reasons for all of your stuff, like whatever your result is. One reason for us would be because they want to make a positive impact. Because if they're not working with clients, they aren't sharing their gift with the world, and that's their calling. That's truly what they want to do. So that's a problem, right? That's why they want to have clients, so they can make a positive impact. Another reason that they want clients, because they want to make money. They want to be financially independent from their 9 to 5. They want to have more control over their time freedom. Go a level deeper. Why do they want money? Why do they want financial freedom? Because they want to be able to really give their family the time and attention that they deserve. Maybe that they didn't have growing up themselves. Like I grew up with a single mom who was working a lot. Like, thank goodness for our grandparents being our neighbors and watching us and stuff, because we needed that, right? But for our decisions and things are built around our family, like a lot of folks these days. So understanding the reasons behind all of these things, so that postpartum mom, helping her get back to the pre-baby weight, is so she can feel good, like naked again. Like she can look in the mirror, getting in the shower and not be grossed out. She can feel good. She can fit back into all those beautiful clothes that were pre-baby, right? She can feel sexy with her husband. She can reconnect with him. Like there's a lot of the reasons underneath it. What are those? Why? Why do they want those results? So very, 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 very important. Okay. Make sure, like if you haven't done this exercise before, I want you to come back, like save this, share it to yourself, like text it to yourself or send it to yourself in Messenger so you can come back to this. And I want you to listen and pause throughout this. Every time I ask you a question, I want you to pause and I want you to journal. And I want you to write out the answers to these things thoroughly, because this is what you need to embody. Like these are the things that need to be flowing through all of your copywriting, all of your social media content, all of your landing pages, your VSL, video sales letter, your webinar. All of these things are so, so critical. Because if you're doing social media content, if you're doing sales calls, if you're doing podcast guesting, if you're doing these different strategies that do work and are working for other people, but they're not working for you, these are the things that we really need to get deep with you on to make sure you can actually get true results and bring in clients. Make sense? Hopefully that all kind of understand. Again, type in 7 if you want a 7-day Trello board to high ticket clients to get your processes and everything dialed in, and info to chat if you think you might need some help, right? Some direction on what to do next. Now, I'm going to throw this in as well because it should be part of this discussion. Your messaging and everything, but also when I think of messaging, to me, it's messaging and packaging of the offer. It's kind of all together. So I want you to ask yourself, is your offer truly irresistible? Is it truly irresistible? When someone hears it, they're like, dang, I'd be kind of stupid not to do that. If they don't have that reaction, if it's not a no-brainer for people when you're having sales conversations, then you're going to struggle to sell. And it'd be way easier if you juicied it up a bit. You added some really amazing bonuses, or you changed the format, or you did some different things to just make it just amazing. Like a total no-brainer. Now, it's easier to understand what people will think is a no-brainer when you've talked to a lot of people, when you've had a lot of sales calls, when you're having good conversations, market research conversations with your target audience. Ask questions, be curious, adjust your offer if you need to. But really dialing that messaging, guys, is so, so critical. So I would love to hear what you're working on here in the comments, guys. I will be back next Monday, same time, 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central, 2:30 Pacific. Monday. All right. I think next Monday, we might be back talking about leads or traffic. I'll have to double check, but it's going to be great. So make sure you set an alarm. You come. Give me like, hey, do me a favor. If this was helpful at all, like hit a reaction button a whole bunch of times. Give me like 10 comments, like even if they're just emojis on this, and hit that share button and share it to yourself even, or because it's in a group, so it's kind of hard to share it, but it'll, you know what it does? It gives it a little more juice. Okay. Facebook will be like, oh, it's good. They're sharing. Even if you just like copy the link and don't ever post it anywhere. Okay. So if this was valuable to you, make sure to do all that good stuff. I appreciate it. I'll be back next week. Again, number 7, if you want our 7-day Trello board to high ticket clients and info to chat and to see how we can help you out. Alan, I think it's Alan. Or Elaine, Alan maybe, but I'll go with Alan. Alan Faber. I appreciate that so much. Especially on YouTube. YouTube is a goofy beast when it comes to comments and engagement. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, have a blessed night. I will see y'all next Monday. Bye.